Hello, good morning class. My name is Apurva Deshmukh, Assistant Professor in English, Veer Wajekar College, Phunde. And today our topic is the Chrysanthemums by John Steinbeck. So let's see the very short story written by John Steinbeck. Okay, now you see the various picture of the flowers. This flower is called the Chrysanthemum Flowers, and they are from the Chinese flower. You might be seeing those flower or this type of flowers like dahlia or something. So you have the very much idea about what is the chrysanthemum flowers, and in his story John by Steinbeck used them as a symbol. Okay, so this is the symbolic flower, but getting you the idea of what is the chrysanthemum flowers, here are the some pictures of the chrysanthemums. So let's see. The Chrysanthemums is a short story written by American writer John Steinbeck. It was first published in 1973 before being included as a part of his collection The Long Valley the following year. That's why in the first introduction I just leave 1938. So it's the story of John Steinbeck. So who is the John Steinbeck? Our very first question is coming here. So who is the John Steinbeck? John Steinbeck was, I already told you, American writer. Was born on the February 1902. He was one of the best known and the most widely read American writers of 20th century. Over his career, he wrote the various correction, like he wrote 30 books including the several novels and non-fiction book and a short story collection. Okay, his first and critical commentary success in 1935 to be reread. He is from California and he mostly wrote about it. Steinbeck went the series of novels set in the Dust Bowl, including The Mice and Men and The Grapes of Wrath. In following, a portrait of Great Depression, which occurs in 1930s, and the migrant workers. The Grapes of Wrath denotes with the American working class, and mostly one of the most famous of his writing. It won both National Book Award and the Pulitzer Prize of Fiction in 1939. Many of his books went to become the major film plots in Hollywood, and not even only the Hollywood. He also once nominated for the Oscar or the Academy Award for the Hitchcock films Lifeboat. In 1962, Steinbeck awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. He would publish one more book, America and the Americans, before his death in 1968. He left the great impression on the 20th century literature and giving an important portrayal of one of the most American significant eras. So it's a John Steinbeck. He is from California first, and what he done? He done the most famous novels like Grapes of Wrath, and he also won the Nobel Prize in Literature. So here we are going to see what is the 1930s. I just say this is the era of Great Depression when I talking about the Grapes of Wrath and Mice and Men. So what happened in the 1930s? After the bloom of we are seeing 20s, as we saw in the Lost Generation, there come the black in 1920. It's a Great Depression. All the economy around the world was collapsed. So in the 1930s, Americans experienced the Great Depression. Unemployment was high A few years of the bad weather hurt the farms. That means they don't have to work in a field, or they don't have to work they don't have any employment. So many people move to California looking for the better land and the good job. So let's see our story, Chrysanthemums. In this story, we are going to see where does the story take place. Yes, it's a most important because I already saw that it's a long valley, and there was he's situated in California, and it's a story about the protagonist Elisa Allen and her husband and Henry and the tinker or the repairman, we can say that. So let's first we are going to see what is the story happens, or what is the plot of the story. The story opens with the panoramic view of the Salinas Valley in winter. Salinas Valley, where our protagonist she lived, and her husband Henry, he had a farm. Not only the farm, he also had a ranch. So they are living in the Salinas Valley. The focus narrow and finally sets on Elisa Allen cutting down the spread of the chrysanthemums in the garden of her husband's ranch. So I already told Henry had a ranch, and Elisa, she is a good wife, like a ideal housewife, you can say. She make a little place for her, and what he done? She done a beautiful garden of chrysanthemums. So let's see what happened next.